So that was kind of a really big wake-up call for me, because my parents had been, while they weren't, completely the most accepting, they had still kept my house as a safe environment for me. And over the years, they have, become really completely accepting of my queer identity. But just seeing my best friend in the situation where she literally could be sent to conversion therapy for, expressing her true feelings, it kind of led me to see activism as more of a survival tactic than an activity. And I really think that's the thing that motivates a lot of youth activists in general, whether it's, climate change, thinking that we want to have a livable future, whether it's in the Black Lives Matter movement, thinking I want to be safe if I have an interaction with the police or with anyone else, whether it's with reproductive justice, whatever issue it is. I know that I and a lot of my friends see it as a survival tactic, not just, maybe for myself, but for my best friend, for my community in general. So that summer, I just started getting involved in a lot of online campaigns around banning conversion therapy, or like banning conversion therapy for minors, and like a few other related campaigns.
It's so interesting to hear about the intersectionality of your activism and how it started with disability rights and has extended beyond LGBTQ rights into other areas. Tell us about the Rise Up conference where, as we said, 75 young activists from around the country came together. How did that inform and change your understanding of your role? And can you tell us about how you're incorporating some of the lessons that you learned from that experience into your work now?
Yeah, I absolutely loved the Rise Up conference. I mean, the first thing I can think of, because I just submitted this paper, actually, I'm in the middle of finals right now, but one of the sessions I went to was on transformative justice, and specifically the way that transformative justice framework can be applied with LGBTQ issues. And I guess,
for people who don't know, will you just briefly explain what transformative justice is?
Yeah, so it's basically like a framework for responding to harm, violence, and other issues in a way that doesn't perpetuate a cycle of violence. So a lot of the time, the way that kids are disciplined in schools for like bad behaviors can lead them into the school to prison pipeline, can lead them into continuing or worsening their behaviors because of the ways that they're kind of treated as a criminal before they even have the chance to, to do some self-improvement, to do some rehabilitation. So a lot of different transformative justice groups have done things like start yoga programs in schools that have replaced their traditional detention programs, and have seen the rates of youth misbehavior going way down, seen the rates of good grades going way up. So for my university writing class this semester, I actually ended up being so inspired by this session at SMYAL's conference that I did more research on transformative justice, and I wrote a paper about transformative justice practices in my local school system, and tying that in with the school resource officer program in my local school system. So I think it's really cool that a session from SMYAL encouraged me to do further research and have this whole research topic for my my final paper. But
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, I just want to remind everybody that if you have questions for Gabrielle or for our other speakers, you can submit them in the chat. And before we wrap up, I mean, as you said, you're majoring in human rights at Columbia, and you're taking this experience into your like where do you hope to go in the future? What do you hope to do with this?
So my like dream job is to be a singer, songwriter, senator. I really like music, creating music, and especially music that is revolving around different social justice issues, but also I am really interested in public service. I am technically like already an appointed official, which feels really weird to say.
That's so great.
But
Orrin Hatch, the former senator from Utah, was also a singer-songwriter. He released a couple albums, so you would not be the first.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't say I would be the first one, but it would still be cool to be one. But even, I mean, not specifically that, just to be a human rights lawyer, to serve in my local city's government, to just anything in public service where I can continue advocacy and being involved in legislation would be really cool.
Well, Gabrielle, thank you for the work you're doing, for being a part of SMYAL, and for sharing your experience with us. We're excited to see what you do next.